There we are.
Woohoo! Good morning, everyone. Wherever you are in the world, it's so good to come together, isn't it? So much goes on from week to week, but here we can gather as a family, and it's so exciting, and we welcome you in. Come on in. Today, we're going to talk about resentment. Have you got resentment?
Oh, it's so good to come
Where are
together.
you holding it in your body? Are you ready to get rid of that? I sure am. So come on in, share out on Facebook, go to YouTube, like our channel, share it out on YouTube, and come on in. We're going to have a good time. We have Tanya Fuller here today to guide us through getting rid of resentment. And I, for one, have been working so much on forgiveness and everything that I know I need this step. And so, Rhonda, tell us about your guest.
Thank you, Teresa. I'm just going to swip over here. I met Tanya at our Akashic Academy Alchemy retreat in Mount Shasta. When I first met Tanya, you could just feel the shamanistic energy around her. You could feel all her native guides. I thought, wow, she's such an earth mother. That's the way my first impression of your energy was, Tanya. So I really loved her soft ancient energy that surrounds her. And I'm happy to say that I'm seeing everyone coming in. Tell us where you are, bring us in. Today, I think we all can relate to what we're going to work on is removing resentment. Tanya suggested this, and I thought, yes, because if 2020 was a year, resentment would have been the theme, I think, for that emotion. Because we were resentful that we were locked down. We were resentful that we had the pandemic. We were resentful for the restrictions. We were resentful that our freedoms were taken away. We felt resentment towards our housemates because they were in our space. And it's all this energy of resentment, sort of like that energy that you have, like you have to do something even though you don't want to do something, but you know you have to do it. So it's like duty with anger. I don't know. And just, anyways, I know there's a lot. And I think we've brought that through, especially as women, that resentment. We do lots of stuff we don't want like to do. We clean the toilets. Who wants to clean the toilets? Everybody uses them. Why can't everybody clean them? But resentment's one of those things that gets in our bone. As women, we've done lots of things that we don't want to do it. You like cleaning toilets, okay, whatever. But it's just like we don't want to do that all the time. Sometimes we'd rather just be out in nature. But Tanya's energy, you can see that she's a healer and she brings that. She does all sorts of wonderful things. So I'm going to have her explain her journey a little bit and what she does because she has like a whole basket full of gifts that she brings to the table. So Tanya, I'm so glad you're here, and I miss you. I miss your energy being in the room with me and your big smile. So come on in and say hello to all our guests
Hi,
and
everyone.
everybody else. Share this out.
First of all, Teresa, I was like, what's she lighting? And all the smoke came up. Then I realized it's sage, and I was like, okay, it's that
Oh,
kind of shit.
no, sweetgrass. Today I
Oh,
got
see that.
sweetgrass from Nancy.
Cool. I love that smell. So I'm Tanya Fuller from Three Feathers Holistic Energy Healing and Wellness, and I'm based out of Truckee, California, which is right next to Lake Tahoe. And so Lake Tahoe is in a mountain. It's a mountain town, big lake, and it's half in California, half in Nevada. Um, but let's see. So I work with people locally and then everywhere else too, because as you know, energy does not need to be. You do not need to be physically in the room to work on one another or to feel energy. And so I have lived here in this area for about 13 years, and before that, I've popped around. And I just have to add, I'm obsessed with Canada, so I talk about it a lot, not just on this show, but you'll notice. So yeah, so my next place to go is going to be Canada.
Well, welcome. I know you're going to be on the other coast, though, so you're almost as far away.
That's true.
But it'll be a beautiful place to go visit too, where you want to go. So
Yeah.
I'm so now you're a birth doula too, so that's a pretty cool
Yeah.
occupation to have. especially with all these gifts. I think any mother that has you is doubly blessed if you coming in.
Yeah. So with the doula work, obviously I bring in the Reiki and the channeling and all of that, and getting to move the energy when a woman's in labor, right? It's a big opening and it's a big transition, because for those of us who had kids, we are a lot different than before, right? So each child we have, we shift a lot, and it's a transformation, and there are a lot of things that come up in labor. All those shadow pieces will come up too, right? Because we have to release control. We also have to be in control. Like it's both of it, right? And um, we have to trust in the process too. And so I love being there, and I love helping women. And I also think it's really important is I'm also there for the partners too. So there's a lot of prep work before the actual birthing. So we do some sessions, and we do sacred childbirth Reiki, which is processing past births or any traumas that might show up and prevent us from fully opening up and releasing, because we have to do that, right? We have to be in our bodies so much and trust that it is just going to open up and let baby out. So that's a big part of that too.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. Um, and and I love it. And I love empowering the partners too, because historically it's been like the women just do it, and the dads, right back way back when, the dads would sit in the other room with cigars and wait for the newborn. And so, but that doesn't need to be. It's obviously not like that now. But I feel like it's really important that the partner had a part in the baby showing up, right?
Yeah.
Some part of it. And so having them come in and be part of the whole situation, to be that support, and to step into their power in birth, right? Just because they're not having the baby doesn't mean that they're not a huge part of it. And that really sets the tone and the foundation for that family, right? Because as they go out, dad is like, okay, like I'm a dad. It's not just wait till baby wants to look at me, right? So
Yeah,
that's
there's that energy connection, right? You almost connect them energetically from the beginning, and that baby's part of that energetic bond.
yeah. And it's like there's a moment in every birth where mom's at that place where it's about to get pretty gnarly, or not gnarly, but just a lot of energy, and she's not chatting anymore. She just kind of has that look like, oh my gosh. And every time you see the partner and the mom and the birthing woman just look at each other, and it's this moment like I can't even describe it, but it is it's so beautiful. It's like you just see this like love. It's gonna make me tear up, and then seeing the baby born, and then seeing the partner just look at each other, right? And I always cry. I try to stay professional, but I definitely cry. Um, and then seeing babies be born, there's all this like negative energy, heavy energy, always like the world's ending and all this and all that and all this, and we can really get sucked into that despair. But then seeing a baby be born, we have to remember, like, every time a human is born, we don't know what their math is. Like, there's hope, and there's hope and hope and hope and hope and hope. So we do have to set out. So I love it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh, go ahead.
so that is so. I just can't imagine that would be like being at births, like except for my own. That's the only ones I've ever attended of my own, except for animals. But being at deaths, I've done that too, and it would be like the process in reverse. But it's kind of like you're handing them over to the heavenly source, where they go back. And that's quite a. Those moments are so sacred, right? So sacred, such sacred
Yeah, and
moments.
the other end of that spectrum, right? As you were saying, that when they move on to the next plane, I also do that as well. So I
Oh,
have
do
a
you?
death rate ceremony and I do life review. I also can help if it's someone who has passed already and there's someone still on this plane who is struggling with that. There's some surrogate death rites that I can do, bringing people in to have a conversation, and then letting them, especially deaths that they've had unresolved issues, or suddenly have left, and then I can help clear release their chakras and clear their chakras, the person who's passed, and release them after they've had an interaction with someone they're loved.
It's quite cool.
It's really
Quite,
amazing.
yeah. That's so you're a death doula kind of as well as a life as a birth doula.
More so the birth, but I'm open to whatever. So we'll see, because it's so important. We celebrate birth, right? The baby showers and all of this, and like we should also celebrate death, because being human is not always easy, and it's also amazing, and we get to go, like, where are we going,
Right.
That's fun.
Yeah.
We should do a send off, right? We do that.
It's a graduation.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'd really love to bring that energy in more. Like, death is beautiful, and yes, we're gonna miss them, but we can also tap into them energetically, and they're ready to go, and so we don't want to hold them back.
No, that's for sure. It's quite a, it's I hear you. It's quite a, I mean, I think a lot of energy workers understand that death isn't the end. So we understand it in our bones. So it's not, even though we, like you said, we miss people, we don't have that same fear that's associated with death as some other people. At least I don't. I it is a graduation and I'm going to miss people, but I'm not even afraid of like passing on. Maybe not today, but because I still got to clean my toilets.
Yeah.
But so you do energy mapping. You're a shaman as well, so that's where you feel that energy of the earth with you. Explain your energy mapping, and that's something that's kind of like one of your specialties, right?
Yep. So I'm an expert energy tracker. So with shamanic energy mapping, what I do is just engage in a conversation with my client, and we just are going to talk. I'm just like, why are you here? What's going on? Just tell me the first thing, and then I will start to intuitively tune in and ask questions intuitively. So just a really beautiful, relaxing conversation, but the whole time I'm tracking the energy, and I'm waiting for that. I call it like a jolt, where I'll be like, oh, that's it, right? Like, we found it. We're just digging around, looking for where it is, and then we find what is causing the turmoil in their life. And they might not even know what's going on. They're like, I just feel off. And so, we're like, we just talk about that stuff, whatever's going on. Once I find it, that's the root of it. That's like the imprint. And so we'll go on, and then I'll have them lay down, and then I'll work through the chakras, because those are really important, right? That's the information that we're receiving from everywhere in the universe. Also, we're also giving out too. So if it's stuck or clogged, there's going to be a lot of miscommunication, right? And really strange perspective. So I'm just reading. I got distracted by the comment.
Attachments or implants can be in the energy field.
Yes, right. So the implants are in the energy field, and I think of them as like these masses of things, and then I see like cords that come out of them, and then they can just go into the chakras or different parts of our bodies. And so once they're on the table, I'll start to have my hands on them. I always have Reiki going on because it feels so good, right? And why not? It's like, while we're doing the work, we might as well have a nice stream of like a cleansing stream, right?
Yeah, just try to turn it off. It doesn't work that way, does it?
It's also, when you go, I just got this vision. Like, you go to the dentist, and they're cleaning, they're getting all the plaque off, but then I love that spray, the water spray that like didn't fall out. And then there's a drain thing. I love the dentist, by the way, you guys. I feel like it's a luxury.
We'll have to get work on that with me. No.
Yeah. So where was I? So tracking it that way. So through conversation, and then through getting into the energy field and following where it's at, and then so many things come up in the body. So we could be holding it in different places of the body, clearing that. There could be crystallized energy that is trauma or something that's happened in past lives that have just like been with us. So I can remove that. And then sometimes, well, a lot of times angels or people's guides will come in. And so at that point, it's just whatever shows up. And so I call it shamanic energy mapping because that's what we're doing. We're figuring out where the imprint is, and then we're stepping at a time together. So my client is also going to go on that journey too. So they're going to have their own interpretations. And a lot of times at the end, when we discuss what was going on, we have very similar visions, right? So the person on the table does not, it could be anybody. It could be another healer. It could be just someone who is not super familiar with everything, but knows how energy works. And I think that's the beauty of it is that, I'm the guide, but they get to come too. I'm not fixing everything for them. I'm just helping open things up, showing them, oh, here's a window, here's a door. Have you seen this? What do you think about this? What happened here? I'm seeing this. And then they get to connect the dots too. So they're also the map makers too. And then from there, they have the ability to shift timelines, right? And to just have a blank piece of paper and be like, okay, from now I feel clear. Oh, I understand why that was happening. I never realized, made that connection, and then they can go on through their lives.
That sounds
amazing.
Yeah.
Sure. You offered to help remove some resentment from the people, our viewers, from now and in the future. So this is all encoded energetically.
Yep.
From what I can say. So anybody who's watching this, you're going to get a resentment removal today if you so desire. And I don't know who doesn't want to remove some resentment so they feel more joy, because it's always like a dark cloud, eh? It's just like a dark cloud that sits in the background. It's always like little knife in your back.
Sometimes it's always there, like waiting.
Yeah,
it is.
So, I know what to do with that.
Yeah.
I'll be like, do it. Energetic martial arts. No.
Right. Well, and you find that, like, you get to those points where you feel that bliss and you feel that joy, but you can't maintain it because the resentment comes back in and kicks you in the ass. So it's like we fight so hard to try to get to this higher vibration, only to get dropped down again because we haven't been able to find a way to release that stuff that's still holding us, back.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm ready.
Yeah. So if you don't mind, everybody, so how should we prepare? Just give us a little preparedness.
All right.
Okay.
Get this right, get comfortable. Anyone have to use the restroom? Now's the time. All right. Okay,
we're good now.
If you haven't noticed it, well, I love to laugh. I think it's the easiest way to raise your vibration. And my guides are really funny, so we're always laughing. Sometimes people are like, what? Why is she smiling like that? And I'm like, don't worry about it. But anyway, so the first thing, you just, get loose and feel good in your body, get comfortable. Take off your socks if you're at home. And so you want to, so say we have our resentment, right? We have our resentment, and we know we don't want to feel this way, but we feel this way. And so we're kind of stuck, right? We're like, we want to get there, but we're here, and how do we do that? So we want to tune into that energy and that vibration that's going to help raise us up, whether it's laughing. What came through this morning for me was humming or singing or chanting. And so any kind of humming is fine. Just making sound, that is immediately going to start to raise your vibration. So we want to do that. So however you want to get there, I just want you to pick something to hum. And it could be a song. You can sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. You can do it silently. You can do it loudly. So we just start to hum. By the way, I find that humming when I'm starting to feel that resentment trying to come in, or I'm feeling annoyed, right? Annoyment, when we're annoyed, can lead to resentment. I will just start humming to almost block it out and dissolve it, right? So I'm just like, here, oh, it's coming in. I'm going to just raise. All right, so we're finished humming, and then you go ahead and take a deep breath in through the nose and close your eyes, right? We're comfortable. Take a deep breath in through the nose and then out of the mouth. Do that a couple more times. And so as you're doing that, I'll explain the next thing. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to move the resentment out of our bones. And so our bones hold our ancestral information, our lineage, things like that. So really what we're feeling resentful about in the moment most likely has a long imprint from somewhere else, right? And we've just carried it through the generations. And so we're not going to really give it a name like, oh, great Aunt Mabel did this to me. Instead, we're just going to work with moving the energy out of the body, out of the bones. So I want you to now bring up a resentment, whatever resentment, first thing that comes into your head or into your field. And we have raised our vibration. So we're just going to momentarily sit with that resentment and let it fill you up. So you might feel your temperature change. You might feel tingling in your hands. You might feel uncomfortable. Like, wait a minute, why was I humming? Now I'm here. Remember, we're still in that place. We're still in that high vibration, but we're going to bring in that resentment, filling it in the body. Okay, so then once you feel it in your body, I want you to take a nice deep inhale, and you're going to inhale all of that resentment. We're just going to hold it. Again, we're not going to be letting it move in. You're going to breathe it in. And then you're going to turn your head to the left. Okay, your gaze to the left. Okay, so you're going to inhale. Now you're going to exhale that resentment out as you bring your head over to the other shoulder. Come back to center, reset, take another deep breath in, exhale out. And again, I want you just here as you're facing forward, noticing, coming back to that issue of resentment, whatever showed up, noticing if it's anywhere still coming up, and then you're going to inhale it again, gather it up, bring your head over to the left, and then exhale. To the right. Come back to center. Again, take another clearing breath. Breath is key. Exhale out. This is your reset. Let's visit that. We're going to do that 2 more times with this issue of resentment, whatever it is. Inhale, gathering up that resentment, gathering up the tension in the bones. Bringing your gaze to the left. Exhaling. Over to the right. Come back to center. Take another reset breath. That reset breath is just inhale and exhale. Settle into this space. Again, you're having sovereignty over this. The resentment is not taking you over. You're showing an exit for this deep-seated resentment, right? We're just trying to track and find the roots of this. So one more time, inhale, gather up that resentment, gather up that energy in the bones. Bring your head to the left, chin to the left shoulder. Exhale over to the right. Coming back to center, reset breath here. Nice deep breath in and out. All right, so the next stage after we've addressed the bones, and you can do that over and over again until you feel a big shift. So hopefully you feel a shift now. Breath is key because that is helping open up all the channels and the connections, as well as communication through the body too, right? All right, so the next thing we're going to do is switch the breath. So we're going to go inhale for 4 and then exhale for 4. Okay, as we do this, let's practice that first. So inhaling for 4. And then exhaling for 4. We're going to inhale through the nose, exhale out of the mouth. All right, so take a break on that. Just breathe. What you're going to do again is bring up that resentment. So now this resentment, we're going to feel it where we're holding it in our body. So we were in our bones, right? The lineage, ancestral stuff, long stuff, long line. Now we're going to be in our body, okay? So now think about your resentment, whatever it is. Now this other, right? Because every emotion has different facets, okay? So we're going to address all of it until we get all of it, okay? So now you are thinking about your resentment. Tune into it. You're just tuning in again. You're keeping your sovereignty, your energy, sovereignty over your energy. And I want you to feel where you feel it in your body. Okay, so the one I'm working with, immediately my stomach. I start to feel it in my stomach. So pinpointing where you feel it, tuning in. And it's going to be that first thing that pops in your head where your awareness goes to somewhere in your body. All right, so using that breath, inhaling for 4, exhaling out of the mouth for 4. Now inhale, gather up that feeling that you felt in your body. For me, it's going to be my belly. I'm going to inhale for 4, gathering up that tension that's connected to that resentment. And then as I exhale for 4, I'm going to send that energy down my right leg and out my right foot into the earth. Okay, you're going to continue this breath. Inhaling, gathering up that energy. And then exhaling it and sending that energy down the right leg, out the right foot, into the earth. So Mother Earth will transmute it, recycle it. Keep breathing that way until you feel that tension and that energy clear. All right, so clearing from wherever you're feeling that body. Again, you're exhaling, sending that energy down the right leg, out the right foot, into Mother Earth. She'll neutralize that energy. And then it's like you are gifting, you are contributing to the collective consciousness. You are providing this fresh, recycled energy. So extra bonus for removing that resentment. And so go ahead and do one more round of that. All right. And then taking a reset breath, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, and then letting us know. You can leave a comment, see if you're noticing a shift or anything. You can name out what place in your body you were feeling, excuse me, the resentment. Nice, Nancy. All right, so from here, right, we've made space and we've cleared things. But the thing is if we don't fill it in with joy and light and all of that stuff, then it's just going to fill back up with even more of what we just released. Because as humans, we can, if we're not present, tend to just do the same thing over and over again. So the last part of this is just bringing your hands onto your body. And for this sake, we'll just stay on our heart chakra, the grand central station of our chakras, right? Connects the lower and the upper. And here, just tuning in, closing your eyes. And then imagining that you're in a waterfall of light. And I love sparkles and I love gold. And so mine, I'm just in a beautiful golden sparkle waterfall, completely cleansing. And all those sparkles are moving into all the spaces I cleared in my bones, for me in my belly, until I create this golden area, reflecting that beautiful light and love. Again, you can stay in this space for as long as you like, whenever, but for the sake of us, we'll just do a couple more, tuning in, and it could be any color. Feeling in. And as we do this and as we release that resentment, we've also cut the cords to that resentment. So we're going to use, let's bring in the violet fire, and we can just seal, cauterize
any of those cords that were not helping us, not keeping us in that high vibration. Good. And then when you're ready, opening up your eyes, smiling, move your body. Yeah. And so that's something that we can do whenever. It can be, you can lengthen it out or you can make it pretty short. Yeah.
Yeah, you could feel a shift immediately. And I knew exactly where I've been storing it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in my lower
I was
back.
surprised. Yeah. I was very surprised because it felt like somebody was squeezing my shoulder, like my arms very hard, like holding me together like this. And then I started to breathe, it melted away. And then it was in my stomach and my chest. And, second round got that all out. Wow.
It's really nice. And when I was like, my stomach again. All right. So it's okay, because we have we get to work on all that. That's what we're here.
Yeah. Thank you. That was amazing.
I had some cool experiences during this, Tanya, so I want to thank you. I realized for some reason I'm holding it in my central channel, plus my lungs, plus the stomach. And I realized that what it was that it came from my bones and the ancestors. I mean, sure, I have my own, but a lot of it was just in accepting that resentment was a way to go. Or, you know what I mean? That it's okay to have it because all of them thought it was okay to have. And so I realized, wow, and then so when we're sending it down the right leg, I saw a chipmunk. What does a chipmunk have to do with this?
Well, that could be one of your animal totems that are showing up to help you with this. If you remember, when you start to feel resentment, you can think of the chipmunk. One of my goals one day will be to know what every animal totem means, but I don't. But just look up what does the chipmunk mean, and you'll see, and you'll get that connection.
Immediately that came to my mind when you said chipmunk is their behavior. And what chipmunks do is they stuff all that resentment in their mouth. They fill up their head full of it, and then they take it and hide it somewhere.
Right.
So just think of that maybe what you've been doing with your resentment is you stuff it all into your head, and then you take it away and hide it and squirrel it away.
Maybe stop eating it too. Stop eating your resentment.
Yeah, I know. Definitely. I love that, you guys. Wasn't this fun?
Yeah. What I also saw too was, and I am so confused about the difference between a squirrel and a chipmunk.
Yeah.
But I was seeing, what flashed in my head is I was on a walk by the lake, and one day, and I heard this noise, and I don't know if it was squirrel or chipmunk, but they look the same. And it was eating a pine cone. It was just going like this. And eating it, and then spitting out all the stuff it didn't want. Spitting it out. And so that came to my mind too. So you have to see what you connect with too, right? Is it sometimes you are storing it? And if you are, what can you do? You can just, digest it, and it's there. And because we are going to feel resentment. We're not, we're humans. So we are channeling all the feelings. But it's what are we going to do how are we going to pivot when we realize we're getting sucked down these tubes, right? You could also just spit it out. Acknowledging why you're resentful or feeling resentment, and then spit it out. Alchemize it.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I'll have to go look up chipmunk.
Yeah.
I see Teresa now just walking around spinning.
But I can tell you the difference between chipmunks and squirrels, and unfortunately, I think in California you even have different little ground squirrels than we have up here in Canada.
Yeah, these are pretty big. Maybe
chipmunks are tiny here. Okay. They're really cute.
Okay,
most of the time.
Cousin squirrel is coming in for you.
I love that. And there's something about the chattering too.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure. I think I need to go feel into that more, whether it's chattering about the same old thing or chattering to finish it off or something. There's something to do with that I have to check out.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to do you know, well, maybe sometime you'll come on and tell us all about animal totems, because that's a really interesting subject. So before you go, we'd like you to tell us about what's going on with you. You have a class coming up, mentorship, right? Sort of
Yep.
coming up, and people
So
can join. Now, I was just going to say all of Tanya's information, how to contact her, is in the description of this video. So if you want to get a hold of her, there's that way. And also you can ask her questions here, and she's welcome to squirrel through them, and take away who she wants. That's fine with us.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so I have a mentorship starting February 28th, which is a Sunday, and it's an 8-week intuitive spiritual gardening mentorship. So a lot of what I do, I call spiritual gardening, because we are just discovering the landscape, seeing what's there, what's been there when we came in, how we can shift the soil, what different elements we can add to create what we want, right? Our lush landscape in this life. And then also to set the tone going onto the other planes. And then I also like to think it goes back too, right? So it's this infinite garden. And so the 8-week mentorship is once a week for an hour, and we do it via Zoom. And we're learning about intuition. So even if we all are intuitive, and we might all have these gifts, but it's a different, it's like a shamanic approach to how to utilize your intuition in this day and age. Included is your own medicine bag. That's part of it. So you get a medicine bag that comes to you when you sign up. I explain what's in there in our first class. And let's see, there is February 14th. Until February 14th, there is the early registration price. And then after that, it goes to the regular price. And there's also a payment plan if you want that. But it's really fun, and I'm excited. I love teaching all of these things. I also have other mentorships that are longer and more involved. Yeah, so I include a lot of I'm also a yoga instructor, so breath work, obviously, you notice, is very big. So including yoga and breath and shamanic and Reiki and angels, because I love the angels.
Yeah, the one on the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's been so much fun. You can come up and visit me anytime. I always say that to my guests. Come up and visit me. I'm in Ontario as soon as they'll let you across the borders.
I know. I'm like, keep checking.
Yeah.
Let
me in. Well, we can always fake you're getting a course from me. Oh, did I say that? We can always have a course that you want.
There you go.
Oh, right. Yes.
Except you'd have to quarantine here for 14 days, and then we'd just put you on the train and go back. But yeah, that's the problem. We're still quarantining people for 14 days. So I don't know if there's anything else, girls. Beth, do you have a question?
I have 3 questions, because you upped the questions this year.
Oh, there's Karen. Hello, Karen.
So there's 3 questions now, and the first question is: if you had to choose a song to be the theme song of your life, what would it be?
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
Did you not prep her for that?
No, I was
Oh no! First song that comes up.
Oh my God, it's I don't even know that. I just started here. Today is a good day. It's like a rap song. I don't know.
Oh, neat.
It was in that movie Friday. You remember that movie?
Yes. I love that. All right, well, we'll go with that. We'll just go with that's it. All right, the second question is: what is your favorite crystal? Because you have to choose one, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
The crystal of the day today. What's your favorite
crystal of the day?
Oh, okay, crystal of the day. I'm loving fluorite right now.
Fluorite.
I have lots of crystals everywhere, but fluorite has just been.
So what about fluorite? What healing properties do you like about fluorite, or what is it about fluorite? I'm just trying.
For me, what I'm liking is I just feel it feels really galactic.
Oh.
I know that each people has its feeling good, and so for fluorite, that's something very grounding, but also very light. You know what I mean? And some of the things I'm working on is I'm really good at going out there And what I'm realizing is, okay, now it's time to come into here. So I exercise and do yoga and stuff, but I'm taking it up a notch and really trying to ground down and connecting to my roots and all the history that it holds.
Okay.
Gently, universe, gently. I feel like when I say these things, like immediately I start to get lessons. So I just want to ask gently.
Right. Gentle,
Gentle.
yes. Ease and
Gentle.
grace.
Ease and grace.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, and the
And-
last question, Rhonda, you can ask that because that's your big question. You
Okay.
can ask everybody.
Okay. It's about ETs. Now, how do you stand on the ET question, or extra dimensionals, however we want to discuss it? Are they here? Have they been here? Or are they just coming here? Or are they really even here at all?
I think that they tried one way to get to be here one way and realized that that was not how they could come because there's a lot of interference and chaos. And because they're so advanced, I think that they have figured out. They kept trying different ways. I now feel like they've figured out. I keep seeing like different tubes. Like they can come in certain ways, but it's energetic, and some of us can know where to greet them and meet them, and know when they're around.
Cool.
How's that for not knowing you're going to ask me questions?
That's awesome. That's the best way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best way. And we know they also flash us. So, yeah.
Oh
We
my
know
gosh, I love looking at the sky. Ever
We need
since
to reword that.
oh
No ET flashes.
She was here. She was there when they flashed us.
yeah, that was crazy. The orange and the green. That was crazy.
Yeah, and we all saw it a little differently. To me, it was like a light bulb going off. Like it was so bright. But yeah, that was easy. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're all part of my flashing group. Sorry. I'm sorry.
So that's what you should do, though, is you should hold some sort of course in your, this summer in your field for ET flashing.
Yes, Rhonda.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
The mosquitoes would take us away. But yeah, no, maybe later. Maybe September's. Yeah. By
Okay.
the time
that
the
would work.
pandemic's all over. Yeah. Anyways, we thank you so much. And yeah, if you'd like to come back again, we'd love to have you. And maybe we could talk about medicine
be
animals
fun.
and shaman, like the main ones that come through. I know there's so many that come through and everybody has their own, but you maybe talk about that and what messages they bring.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking up animals all the time because they show up not only in real life, but in my dreams a lot lately, different animals all the time.
Oh.
So I've been looking them up a lot. And yeah, it'd be cool to be able to have a show about that. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah. And I also do soul retrievals, bringing back different pieces of soul, and the animal totem is a huge part of that.
Oh,
I love
cool.
that. That I didn't know. That's cool.
So
Yeah.
she's got a whole basket. Like I said, she's got this big basket full of talent, and she just reaches in and pulls out what she needs at the time. So it's wonderful. And 3 children besides. So that's yay for you.
She's a shamanic Renaissance goddess. There we go.
There you go. Perfect.
I love it.
Thank you so
All
much
right.
for being here.
Thank
Yes, absolutely.
you.
Okay, back
We
to
have the winner, and that's
Yeah,
it. And we're done.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the winner of last week's Share It Out, who shared out the show the most, that won a session with Rhonda, is Tammy Griffiths. Congratulations. Rhonda will be contacting you to set that up. Whoever shares out the most this week will win a session with me. So make sure you guys share it out, and we'll announce the winner at the end of next week's show. Thank you all for hanging out this week. It's been an amazing episode, learning how to remove our resentment. I feel clearer and lighter, so thank you so much, Tanya, for hanging out. And yeah, this has just been an amazing experience.
So yeah, Nancy keeps seeing a green sphere to your left. So who's that? That's interesting.
Is it Raphael?
Yeah, probably. That's why I was getting. But that's cool. It's to your left. So say hi. Thanks. Thank you everyone for showing up. Yay. Love you. So take care,
Have a
everyone,
beautiful
and
week.
see you next week. Bye-bye.
Namaste.